the PC, and we're ready to go, guys. In the top right-hand corner of the map, it's the Beyond Wannabe with his Reaper play. The red Terran, Raw D, otherwise known as Jiggy. His opponent in the bottom left, it is Miezekotze. Miezekotze, alright. Yeah, I'm going with that. Miezekotze. So I'm going to call him Mies, or maybe I will just stick with Miezekotze. Either way, that's who he is. He's blue, and he's Zerg. The name should be When Patch Zergs Lose. Oh wait, this is a German grill streamer? I haven't heard of her. And by the way, why is it that, like, all female gamers... Okay, number one, I can only think of one off the top of my head. One female StarCraft 2 player who plays Terran. That's Rally. She's awesome. But aside from her, it's like almost every single female StarCraft player plays Zerg. Then there are a few I've seen who do play Protoss. I ran into one on ladder the other day, Koshki. She is a Protoss streamer. But it seems like almost all of them play Zerg. Now, Rally's Diamond 3. She got Diamond for the first time ever this season. But she's super cool. She hasn't been stopping by my chat too frequently of late. She stopped by the other day. But yeah, she finally got Diamond. Grizzly. I have not heard of Grizzly. Oh, that's right, Jiggy. I totally forgot about that, man. Yeah, we originally met through Rally. Was it on Rally's stream? Anyway, I should start getting into the cast here. We're getting through the downtime. And something interesting actually is happening. The Roach Warren is about to complete. Hopefully Jiggy scouts this. He's going to pick off these two Zerglings easily. This, to me, looks like the Zerg wants to go with Ravagers. Now, it could just be the 3 Roach build, which is designed to scare the Terran, force some defense. Okay, as I say that, we're getting more. So yes, this does in fact look like Ravagers. This Overlord's going to hang around. This one's going to keep close by as well. These Overlords are going to be used to get high ground vision, and Bile's going to come down on the supply depots and the reactor. Jiggy is going to see the Roaches right now. Quickly pulls away. Good job thus far. Gets off 1 grenade. And if this was pre-nerf, the Reaper could hang around much more and keep throwing down grenades. But this 14-second cooldown is, yeah, not too conducive to grenading these Roaches as they come across the map. Bunker on the low ground, interesting choice. I think that's actually, now that I think about it, that's probably the best thing to do. I don't know why I hadn't thought of that before, so... Who knew it was possible to actually learn something from Jiggy? Not me. But, anyway, they say there's an exception to every rule. I have, in fact, learned that I think this is probably the best bunker positioning possible. Because if you put it up here, the Ravagers are still going to hit that easily with the Corrosive Bile. And your supply depots are fair game. With the bunker here, this supply depot is protected. Bro, I'll fire shots at you all day. That's all you do to me. Anyway, Biles do go down, and this bunker is focused down very quickly. I'm not sure Jiggy was expecting this many Roaches and Ravagers. Siege Tank is out, but the problem is that this supply depot went down almost immediately. SCVs have to be pulled. This is not looking good for Jiggy right now. With all of this being said, there's no mining going on at the Zerg Natural. So if it is held, Jiggy can come back and do some counter damage. Nice surround there on the Ravagers by the SCVs. Ravagers do go down. Jiggy has lost slightly more, but all things considered, he's not in a terrible place. He does have 2 orbital command centers. He's behind in SCVs, and he has virtually no army. Okay, I'm actually wrong. He's only slightly behind in army. But the army that he does have, until this tank came out, they're just Marines without combat shields. Unless, am I missing something? Where are the rest of the units? There's 6 Marines. Okay, so that, what was confusing me is I saw that it was at 10 supply, but I only saw Marines, but that's because it was this siege tank that was in production at the time. But anyway, so we've got Marines with Stim just starting up now. No combat shields, of course. So these are very vulnerable. But it looks like Miezekotze is just now starting to saturate the natural. So like I said, Jiggy's not in the worst position possible. In fact, he's not really even in a bad position. There's still no third base for Miezekotze. Jiggy is adding on his starport. Oh, so you've played her multiple times, Jiggy? Jiggy in chat says she's done this to him every time. And he did know that it was all in, seeing so many Ravagers. Did you know that it was all in when your Reaper saw the roaches coming across here? Because, like, based on what the Reaper saw, I would think it's aggression, but I wouldn't realize that it was basically all in until the Ravagers actually showed up here. Anyway, Stim about halfway done. Miezekotze going up to lair off a 2 base, so it looks like we might have cheese into cheese. Because this is a super, super late third base for the Zerg player. Yeah, so Jiggy, I don't know if you've gone up against the 3 Roach build. I've gone against it a few times, and Brogue actually uses it all the time on ladder. But you just make 3 Roaches, scare the Terran, and you can get a really fast third base, or you can go up to Lair and get out Spire with Corruptors, actually. I forget where you got the build. You got the build from some pro. But anyway, in that case, if you over-defend, you are way, way behind. So that's why I'm always really paranoid about how many Roaches I see and making sure I respond as best as I can. And I still get wrecked by Roach Ravager, as I did right before that last game that I won. There's no real easy way to deal with it. I'm guessing Jiggy does not have a scan available. Was expecting one to be ready. It is not. He's going to stim again, come in here, pick off just 1 drone, but he gets out. That's the most important thing. I was right, by the way. Spire did go down before the third base, so it's looking like, maybe we can't call it a cheese, but probably hoping to take Jiggy by surprise with a wave of Mutalisks. Baneling Nest going down at the same time, and Zergling Speed actually about halfway done. So it looks like Miezekotze wants to transition into standard Lingbane Muta, but after that heavy Roach Ravager aggression. Yeah, that's happened to me so many times. You drop, you're ready to go, you stim, and then you press C to scan, and nothing happens. You're like, oh, well, that sucks. Jiggy's going to press in here, pick off a couple of creep tumors and get out. Well done. At the same time, he has a double drop prepared. Looks like it wants to come into the main base. Nothing there currently. A lot of tech is there. So if Jiggy plays this right, he could get some key pickoffs. And it looks like Miezekotze has really extended out on the map, chasing away this drop, and is very vulnerable here at home. Jiggy is getting a scout on the Mutalisks, and he is doing damage at the same time. This could not possibly be going better for Jiggy. He's actually going to focus down the Spire. Pulls back to kill some Mutalisks. I don't know. He should not let the Spire live. Oh, Jiggy, you let the Spire live. I really think he should have taken that out. That would have been so nice. With that being said, he still did get really good damage done on the drones. But, man, taking out that Spire would have been fantastic. 34 drones currently for Miezekotze, trying to squeeze out a few more. It's going to be tough. Jiggy's going to keep the pressure up. Drops in here at the third. Looks like he wants to load up and head back into the main. This should be deflected by these Roaches, but it looks like we have a bit of an F2 going on. Another Mutalisk is about to fall. Jiggy is pressing in against the Roaches, trying to burrow the Widowmine. Gets picked off immediately. Jiggy microing against the Roaches with this small force of Marine Medevac is deflected, but not before getting some more damage done. Marines running around, doing a sort of wraparound there. I'm not sure if there was some sort of weird rally or what, or if Jiggy wanted to poke in and just see what was going on. Either way, he gets away safely. Drop comes back into the main. I want to point this out. This is epically late. The 1-1 is really, really late. But I'm guessing that's because this is a 5 racks prior to 3rd Command Center build. Jiggy is really going heavy on the bio there. But still, I think the upgrades are later than they could have been. That may come back to haunt Jiggy. But not if the Zerg doesn't get upgrades of her own. The reason why I say it could come back to haunt Jiggy is because usually when the Terran has an upgrade window, an upgrade advantage over the Zerg, a lot of times you can push and do game ending, or you can just do very significant damage. But, as I said, if the Zerg isn't getting any upgrades at all, then Jiggy's going to be fine. It doesn't matter how late your upgrades are. If your opponents are later, then you're sitting pretty. Decent splits there from Jiggy, avoids any major shots from the Banelings, but these ones are going to be coming out. They do, of course, have Baneling speed. They're going to come back. Decent splits to start out again from Jiggy, but queens are queens, man. And they're going to push away the remaining Marines and Medivacs. Looks like Jiggy wants to just slightly pull back, set up Widow Mines again, and go for it. 3rd base is down. No orbital just yet. Jiggy said in chat, killing some mutas is nice. Yes, it is indeed nice. I agree. But, I don't know. I love picking off the tech, especially something like a Spire. It takes a long time. I don't know exactly how long, but I know it takes a long freaking time to rebuild. And when you pick off that Spire, you know you don't have to worry about anything for a while. You don't have to worry about any harassment. Ooh, that could have been much worse for Miezekotze. Queens are freaking, I want to say studly. It's not a feminine word, but whatever. They are studly. Screw it. They're queens, but they're studly. They are really, really strong. Good splits to start from Jiggy. Maintains the splits throughout, but he's going up against these queens again, and they have a lot of energy. 1 queen goes down, 2 queens go down, transfusions go down, and Jiggy's going to have to back off. By the way, this is what's going to cause the throw. If there's a throw in this game, this is how it's going to happen, right here. Jiggy was up to 1.8k minerals. And yeah, that is not going to do him any favors. Does he have an armory? Armory just starting now. Yeah, this is how you concoct a throw, my friend. Not sure if you already watched the replay yourself, Jiggy, but yeah, the super late armory and the lack of spending during those engagements, that's what's going to do it here. With that being said, Jiggy is still ahead in supply. Considerably so, given that this is TvZ. Ahead in army supply, ahead in worker supply as well. Starting to mine out, though. Turrets going up, just really protecting himself from any Mutalisks. I like that. I don't like when players chance it, or they get greedy, try to get away without making turrets. But we've got lots of Marines, lots of Medivacs, only 1 Widow Mine. That could be a problem. 2 more being added now, and 2-2 finally being started, which will be ahead of the 2-2 of Miezekotze. So, disaster averted. Of course, if 2-2 was done now, if the armory was finished on time, 2-2 would pretty much be done right now, and this would be a really powerful window to hit. I am a bit concerned about the low amount of Widow Mines with this main army, especially considering there are very few Mutalisks at the moment. This is primarily a Ling Bane army with some Roaches mixed in, and you really need Widow Mines for the Lings and the Banelings. First Widow Mine shot gets off, not the best. Second one also not the best, and this is kind of the problem that I was describing. Without Widow Mines to deal with this massive Ling Bane, you have to rely on perfect splitting. Like, it can't just be good, it has to be perfect. And Jiggy is doing a good job right now of splitting, I will say that, but it's just not enough. You need that splash damage. So Miezekotze does clear this up, and that gives her the opportunity to secure this 4th base. And now this is where Jiggy is in trouble. His 2-2 is over half of the way done. Still no 2-2 for Miezekotze. I'm actually really surprised by that. If Jiggy has one chance now, without a fourth base on the way, I think he's at 8 racks. Okay, 7 racks. 2 factories. I'm sorry, 3 factories, so he's got a lot of infrastructure. Fourth base being started, started a short time ago. But without that fourth base, this is starting to look really, really shaky for Jiggy. But as I was saying, his one chance is to push during the upgrade advantage, or to do significant damage during that upgrade advantage. Yeah, splits better than Van Damme. I like that one, Despox. Those were really good splits, I will say that. Jiggy did a good job of fighting off creep the entire time. Baited, pulled back, got good splits in. But it's like no matter how good your splits are, if you don't have that splash damage, you're in trouble. And once again, I have to say this, especially after the Combat Shield Banelings were introduced. It's like you can't just get by with good micro alone. You need the Widow Mines, as crazy as that sounds. I wish you could get by with just really good micro. But those Banelings, they tank more shots now, so gotta get the Widow Mines out there. Anyway, good position set up here for Jiggy. First Widow Mine shot, not too bad. Has 12 kills on it. Second Widow Mine shot, really good. And remember, this is 2-2 against the 1-1 of the Zerg. Jiggy is at a gigantic supply lead, getting his Marauders forward to soak the Baneling shots, which they do. Marines pull back. This is just going really well for Jiggy. One problem, though, is that this bio is really, really low. Jiggy seems to have overstimmed a bit. His medevacs do have plenty of energy to heal, though, and yes, GG is called. I was going to say, man, I'm not sure how you could actually throw that game after this engagement. That was a really good engagement there. I was a bit concerned with the bio being really low on health if there were more Banelings back here, but the economy of Miezekotze was just not there. And more importantly, it's the 2-2 against 1-1, that gigantic window that really pulled through. Well done there by Jiggy.